That's a good one. We'll do stuff and not have to put the pressure on the citizens to keep raising their taxes,
Oh, yeah. You ready?
Yeah.
You good? Hey, if you're on the phone with us, you probably need to mute yourself. I'm not sure who would be on the phone with us, but good afternoon and welcome to the regularly scheduled City Commission meeting for Tuesday, March the 10th, 2026. If you would, please stand with us, and Bart Bowles is going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good job, Bart. Can we have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Hargis. Present. Commissioner Thomas. Commissioner Pruitt.
Here.
Commissioner Witt.
Here.
Mayor Staten.
Here. First up on the agenda, if I could ask Bart Bowles and Chris Smith to join me at the podium. Chris is our newest, soon-to-be member of the HWU Water Board. Are we good, Dawn? Okay. Soon-to-be member of HWU, and Paul Burt is the, are you still the chairman? Chairman of the board for HWU. And we have got to swear him in before his next meeting to make him official. So I'm going to do this swearing in, if that's okay with everybody.
Not today.
All right, sir. Other than when I say state your name, repeat after me. When I say state your name, state your name. And we'll be in good shape. All right, you can raise your right hand. I state your name.
Chris Smith,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and be faithful and true
and be faithful and true
to the Commonwealth of Kentucky,
to the Commonwealth of Kentucky,
and that I will faithfully execute,
and that I will faithfully execute,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
the office of
the office of
Henderson Water
Henderson Water
and Sewer Commissioner,
and Sewer Commissioner,
according to law.
according to law.
And I do further solemnly swear
And I do further solemnly swear
that since the adoption
that since the adoption
of the present Constitution,
of the present Constitution,
I have not fought a duel
I have not fought a duel
with deadly weapons
with deadly weapons
within this state,
within this state,
nor out of it,
nor out of it,
nor have I sent
nor have I sent
or accepted a challenge
or accepted a challenge
to fight a duel
to fight a duel
with deadly weapons,
with deadly weapons,
nor have I acted as second
nor have I acted as second
in carrying a challenge,
in carrying a challenge,
nor aided or assisted
nor aided or assisted
any person thus offending,
any person thus offending,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations, you are officially sworn in as our newest HWU board member. They are a rowdy bunch, but they have all taken the same pledge not to fight a duel, so you should.
We've never had a duel, but we've done a lot.
There you go. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, man.
Dylan, I think we've got some employees to introduce.
Yes, if I can invite Mr. Bart Bowles and Mr. Troy Lamry up to the podium, please.
I'll talk to you later.
Man, oh man, Bart is hiring somebody every, how many employees you got over there?
About 86,
All right,
something like
all
that.
right.
So, Troy's a new employee in our field department, an old employee in our field department. He was with us before. He's on our call truck, so when somebody calls, he's the first guy that goes out. Water problem, sewer problem, and he's had so many, he's been with us at the temp for how many months now?
I got 5 or 6.
5 or 6 months, and he's had so many good calls from people just saying he's doing such a good job. So we're glad to have him back a second time, and if you remember last time, we brought somebody back a second time too.
That's
So
right.
That's a good thing. So we're glad to have Troy Lamry.
So if you could, we usually ask, or I usually ask new employees, so what was it that keeps on bringing you back?
I missed everybody.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's good.
Like the people that you work with?
Yeah.
Good deal.
Awesome.
Good deal. Well, welcome back, Bart. Bart is actually, despite me running him down sometimes, he's a pretty good guy. A good manager is what I hear. So I think you'll have a good time. Thank you so much for coming back. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, next I'd like to invite Mr. Kenny and Mr. Seth Washington up to the podium. So as you all know, we've got a contractual relationship with SFC, who runs our sports complex for us. And so, even though the employees that they hire are not directly our employees, Mr. Seth Washington was just named our newest general manager for the Sportsplex. So he'll be filling in Courtney Turner's shoes for us, and Seth has really hit the ground running. I know we had SFC takes care of all the applications, preliminary interviews, all of that. And I think, Thomas, do you remember how many applications they said we had for
37.
37 GM?
Wow,
and so,
that's good.
so I'm gonna let you speak here in a second, Thomas. But I want to brag on Seth for a little bit. So Seth has been with the sports complex since when did you start?
May of last year.
May of last year. So he was brought on as our food and beverage coordinator. Seth has done an outstanding job, and when Courtney announced that she was going to be stepping down from the role, he was immediately appointed the interim GM. And I'll say, over the last, so that was about November, so for the last 4 months he's been in the acting role, and Seth has earned this position. He's done extremely well. And one thing I told Seth, and I'll tell you again now, I wanted to go through the process because I wanted Seth to know that if he got the position, he truly earned it, and that he outworked the other 37 applicants, and I couldn't be happier to recommend Seth for this position, or to affirm SFC's decision on that position. Thomas, I know you've worked with Seth closely, and you've seen a lot of great things from him. So I expect the two of them to work closely together and have a lot of great ideas for how the sports complex can be better leveraged to serve our community. So just want to say welcome to Seth.
Seth's going to be amazing. So just so you know, he can connect with anybody. So I've met so many different people out there, and when he's got tournaments going on and different things like that, he's actually brought in Brescia, is that how you say it? Brescia. They've been there for the past couple weekends already. They love this guy already, and so the way that he keeps the facility clean and just different things that we've got going on out there. So you're going to see some amazing things going on. We have a great partnership, wanting to try to put things together and do different things out there. So I'm really happy to have Seth on with this part of the team.
I hear you say you're from Russellville, Kentucky.
Yes, sir.
Is that
Russellville,
right?
Kentucky.
Yeah. So are you like most immediately from Russellville, or did you live there before you?
No, I've lived in Owensboro for the past 12 years.
Okay.
I was born and raised in Russellville.
But tell them what you told me about Henderson and wanting to move here potentially.
I'm going to move my family here. I've been over in Owensboro for the past 12 years, but I've been looking for a home and looking for something to feel important and be able to give back to, and I love what Henderson has to offer.
That's awesome.
It's only been a year, but I've seen a lot, and I want to see more. So
Yeah, great.
Oh, well,
That's awesome.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
talking about right there.
Yeah, we've already snatched somebody from Owensboro that's sitting right next to me. He moved to Henderson last year, so it's not
That's
not
what I've been
that.
trying to tell people.
Yeah, I mean I think we all root for Owensboro's success, but we root harder for Henderson's
Yes.
success, and so it's nice to see you.
Absolutely.
Nice to have you here, and if you have any questions about living in Henderson, come see us. And
Absolutely. I will
We'll try
do.
to help our best get you fixed up.
Will do. It was nice to meet
All right,
everybody.
thank you.
And that's all we have for this afternoon.
All right, thank you. With that, we have a consent agenda.
The consent agenda contains the minutes of the February 10th, 2026 regular meeting and the February 17th, 2026 work session and the February 24th, 2026 regular meeting, and resolution number 13-26, resolution accepting human resources report dated March 10th, 2026, and approving all actions contained within, and resolution number 14-26, resolution accepting the 2026 Parks, Recreation, and Trail Master Plan as a guiding document.
Before we get a motion, do we have any items that any commissioner would like to pull for further discussion? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve, please.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hargis. Aye. Commissioner Pruitt.
Aye.
Commissioner Witt.
Aye.
Mayor Staten.
Aye. Next up, we have a second reading of an ordinance amending the budget.
Ordinance number 07-26, ordinance amending budget and appropriation ordinance. An ordinance amending budget and appropriation ordinance for the fiscal year commencing July 1st, 2025 and ending June 30th, 2026 for the city of Henderson, Kentucky. Whereas on June 24th, 2025, the city of Henderson adopted its annual budget and appropriation ordinance for the fiscal year commencing July 1st, 2025 and ending June 30th, 2026, being ordinance number 23-25. And whereas on January 27th, 2026, the city of Henderson amended its annual budget and appropriation ordinance for the fiscal year commencing July 1st, 2025 2025 and ending June 30th, 2026, being ordinance number 04-26. And whereas the city manager recommends that the following additional amendments be adopted, now therefore be it ordained by the city of Henderson, Kentucky, that ordinance number 04-26 is amended as follows. Number 1, the budget submitted to the Board of Commissioners by the city manager is hereby adopted and approved, and said budget is incorporated herein by reference, and 3 copies thereof signed by the mayor shall be kept on file in the office of the city clerk as part of the public record of the city. Number 2, there is hereby appropriated from the general and special fund accounts of the city of Henderson and allocated to the various funds of the city the following amounts. General fund expenditure total has been amended to $41,468,000. Transfer to PWI has been amended to $1,518,000. Transfer to construction fund has been amended to $1,254,000. Total general fund has been amended to $50,130,000. Public Way Improvement Fund has been amended to $2,350,000. Construction Fund has been amended to $18,144,000. Sanitation Fund has been amended to $5,890,000. Number 3, the number and classifications of city employees as recited in the annual budget is approved as presented. Number 4, the city manager is authorized to hire an additional 2 police officers when it is deemed necessary by the chief of police and city manager due to the length of training necessary for the position. Number 5, the city manager is authorized to hire an additional 1 firefighter when it is deemed necessary by the fire chief and the city manager due to the length of training necessary for this position. Number 6, the city manager is authorized to hire additional non-hazardous duty personnel for key positions when it is deemed necessary for succession training purposes, and the expenditures for the additional hires do not exceed the appropriations granted. And number 7, this ordinance shall be effective as of July 1st, 2025.
Can we have a motion to approve, please?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Do we have any comments or questions? Anybody need Jessica to read that again?
No, we're good.
All right, roll call, please.
Commissioner Hargis. Aye. Commissioner Pruitt.
Aye.
Commissioner Witt.
Aye.
Mayor Staten.
Aye. Next up, we have an ordinance amending Chapter 22.
Ordinance number 08-26, ordinance special purpose vehicles. An ordinance amending Chapter 22, traffic and motor vehicles, adding a new Article 6, street legal special purpose vehicles, relating to the authorization for street legal special purpose vehicles to be operated on the city highways pursuant to KRS Chapter 186.077.
Do we have a motion to approve, please?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, and again, this is related to side-by-sides. Had our first reading last week. Somebody have any additional questions, concerns, comments? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hargis. Aye. Commissioner Pruitt.
Aye.
Commissioner Witt.
Aye.
Mayor Staten.
Aye. Next up, we have a municipal order approving a change order for fairground.
Municipal order number 21-26, municipal order approving change order request number 1 to the construction agreement with Rivertown Construction LLC, upgrade Fairground Lane project, and an additional amount of $26,938 with the funds coming from the Community Development Block Grant Funds.
We have a motion to approve, please.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Do we have any comments or questions?
On the, can we have somebody explain what the change order, you said 26,000?
We certainly can. Do you have somebody that can do that?
Mr. Newman or Ms. Pruitt, would one of you all mind kind of talking a little bit about what the change order is, please? Thank you.
So we built a sidewalk on Fairgrounds in Sand Lane, and so when you come out on the southwest side of Sand Lane, we have a sidewalk that is cracked. It needs to be rebuilt in order for all the work that we've already done to withhold. If we don't fix it now, and everything that we've done will not sustain, and we will have to go in later and fix it. So this would be the best time before they lay the rest of the sidewalk and the railing.
That makes sense. Is that not part of the original scope?
It was not.
Okay.
They didn't find it until they got closer to the ending, and so we cannot move forward unless we fix the sidewalk.
Is that the part that goes closer, going up toward Newman Park?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Good deal. Thank you, ma'am.
welcome.
Appreciate it. Any other comments or questions? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hargis. Aye. Commissioner Pruitt.
Aye.
Commissioner Witt.
Aye.
Mayor Staten.
Aye. Next up, we have a municipal order authorizing an agreement with Kentucky Transportation Cabinet.
Municipal order number 22-26, municipal order authorizing the mayor of the city of Henderson to execute an agreement with the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet for the Audubon Park Access Road project item number 02-80309 and ratifying all terms and conditions thereof.
We have a motion to approve, please.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Dylan, let's spend a little time on this one.
Yeah, Mr. Newman, do you want to come up and help talk about this one as well? So if y'all remember at I'll kick it off and then I'll let Buzzy continue, but at our last meeting, this is an LPA project, which is basically a project, it's a state project that we kind of manage at the local level. And so we follow a little bit different process. I believe at our last meeting, we had you all approve, I believe, a resolution that basically affirmed who we believed the design professional would be. And so this is actually an agreement between us and the Transportation Cabinet that would allow us to enter into an agreement with the design professional. So Buzzy, I don't know if you want to add anything, but.
You basically have said it all. Basically, though, this agreement is for $675,000, and that is for design services and right-of-way acquisition if required. So this is just the first phase of the project. As the project moves along and we get closer to construction bid letting, there'll be another MOA that we have to sign for construction funds. And I will say, part of this agreement, this is being fully funded by the cabinet, and no local matches were required.
Good deal. So
Thank you.
just a further, in case you're listening out in the audience or at home, when Buzzy says MOA, that stands for Memorandum of Agreement. And that's just basically a funding agreement because the state is paying for 100% of this project. And this is the project that would connect Audubon State Park behind the hotels and to Watson Lane, correct?
Correct.
All right. So it's progressing, and I'm going to take this opportunity, too, just to say that I went up to Frankfurt a week or two ago and had a really positive meeting with Representative J.T. Payne and Robbie Mills and a couple of other people who control the budget at the state. If you remember, we made the original budget for the conference center and for the additional road back in 2022. Into 2022, beginning of 2023, and we've gone through these steps. And the step so far is that the city has given has pledged to give $2.7 million. The county has pledged to give $2.5 million. The state has pledged to give $8.5 million, and that's what was budgeted a couple of years ago. Well, now we're about ready to break ground on the project. We've had a couple of years' worth of inflation. And so I went and talked to them, and we requested the state pay an additional $2.8 million. And it was actually very well received. So J.T. Payne and Robbie Mills are working hard to get us that additional money that we need to make up for a little bit of inflation in the project.
Yes.
We should find out within the next month or two if that made it into the budget. And then as soon as we're able to do that, we can continue with the design phase, and then we should be headed most realistically for a groundbreaking in the spring of next year. We could slip it into the fall if things feel exactly right, but most likely we'll finally get the groundbreaking on that thing next year. So just to kind of give everybody a heads up on that. Anything else on the road project?
Just for clarification, once this road is constructed, it will become a city street.
Yes.
So,
That was part of the agreement. They're going to pay for it, and then we're going to take it
Maintain it.
into our inventory for maintenance purposes. Good deal. Thank you, sir. We got a motion and a second already, I think? All right. Does anybody have any other questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hargis. Aye. Commissioner Pruitt.
Aye.
Commissioner Witt.
Aye.
Mayor Staten.
Aye. Next up's a resolution approving an agreement with United Way.
Resolution approving agreement with United Way of Henderson Incorporated allocating $7,500 to receive, review, vet, and make recommendations regarding City of Henderson's nonprofit grant funding applications and authorizing the mayor to execute the agreement.
We have a motion to approve, please.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Do we have any comments, questions? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hargis. Aye. Commissioner Pruitt.
Aye.
Commissioner Witt.
Aye.
Mayor Staten.
Aye. Next up, we have a municipal order for a bid for limestone rock, sand, and recycled concrete.
Municipal order number 23-26, municipal order awarding bid for purchase of limestone, rock, sand, and recycled concrete for Group A to Mulzer Crush Stone Incorporated of Tell City, Indiana, Audubon Sand and Gravel of Henderson, Kentucky, and Hazex Construction Company Incorporated of Henderson, Kentucky, and Group B to Hazex Construction Company Incorporated of Henderson, Kentucky, effective March 31st, 2026.
Do we have a motion to approve, please?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Do we have any comments or questions? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hargis. Aye. Commissioner Pruitt.
Aye.
Commissioner Witt.
Aye.
Mayor Staten.
Aye. Next up, we have a municipal order for a bid for cement.
Municipal order number 24-26, municipal order awarding bid for purchase of cement concrete for city projects to Irving Materials Incorporated of Henderson, Kentucky, and the total bid amount of $281,280 as the primary supplier, and Moit Construction Supply Incorporated of Henderson, Kentucky as an alternate supplier, and the total bid amount of $298,600.
Motion to approve, please.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Do we have any comments, questions? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hargis.
Aye.
Commissioner Pruitt.
Aye.
Commissioner Witt.
Aye.
Mayor Staten.
Aye. Next up, we have a municipal order approving a bid for concrete labor services.
Municipal order number 25-26, municipal order awarding bid for purchase of concrete labor for various city projects to Rivertown Construction LLC of Newburgh, Indiana, in the amount of $454,000 as the primary supplier, and KMAC Contracting LLC of Madisonville, Kentucky is an alternate supplier, and the total bid amount of $489,855.
Do we have a motion to approve, please?
So moved.
Do we have a second? Do we have any comments or questions? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hargis.
Aye.
Commissioner Pruitt.
Aye.
Commissioner Witt.
Aye.
Mayor Staten.
Aye. Next up, we have a municipal order for asphalt paving and milling services.
Municipal order number 26-26, municipal order awarding bid for purchase of asphalt paving and related street maintenance services to Charbon Contracting LLC of Madisonville, Kentucky, in the amount of $95,500.
Motion to approve, please.
So moved.
Do we have a second? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hargis.
Aye.
Commissioner Pruitt.
Aye.
Commissioner Witt.
Aye.
Mayor Staten.
Aye. Next up, we have a municipal order approving electrical inspection services.
Municipal order number 27-26, municipal order approving agreement for electrical inspection services between the City of Henderson and Mikeville Lyons, and authorizing the mayor to execute the agreement on behalf of the city.
Have a motion to approve, please.
So moved.
Second, do we have any comments or questions? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hargis.
Aye.
Commissioner Pruitt.
Aye.
Commissioner Witt.
Aye.
Mayor Staten.
Aye. City managers report.
Yes, first up, we're going to talk about the IRT mission allocation. So I'd invite Mr. Newman and company. I'm not sure if anybody else is joining him or not, but we'll let him give you an update on where we're at with the IRT mission.
So everyone remembers, we applied for a grant through the Delta Regional Authority sometime late or early fall last year. We were notified that we received the grant for another military mission here in Henderson, Union, and Webster County, which the last time they were here was just Henderson. And as part of the grant process, Delta Regional provides so much money toward the project, and the local public agencies have to contribute funds as well. So as we have begun building our budgets for that, we will need Board of Commission approval to expend funds that were not budgeted in the current year budget, okay? Now, we believe today that we think that number for Henderson County will be somewhere in the neighborhood of $35,000, pretty much what it was 2 years ago. Union and Webster will pay proportionally their share of the mission, and so that's what I'm asking for today. Dawn, would we need to come back at some point, or do we want to do end-of-the-year budget amendment to clean up this expenditure? And the reason I say it, they will not be here until June, so a lot of the expenses may not hit the books. We may not receive the invoices for the current fiscal year. It depends how Ms. Mills wants to handle it. The expenses occur in this fiscal year, but may not be invoiced until next year. But we want to bring this to you and let you know.
So Dylan, what would you prefer? Do you want a motion to try to get this, if needed, in this fiscal year, or do you just want to incorporate it into the budget?
So, Ms. Mills, I would assume that you would just incorporate that in the end of the year budget amendment. But I guess, Dawn, do we need some sort of indication
We
of
probably
support?
ought, yeah, and we probably ought to do a resolution on it.
Okay,
You all can
resolution.
indicate that, and we'll put the resolution on
Do
there.
you just want a straight motion, or do you want to bring us a resolution?
We can bring a resolution.
Let me ask you guys this. So you all are you familiar with the IRT?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I know that you guys are. Anybody against moving forward with funding? It's not very much funding, but with funding the IRT mission? No, I think it was such a great experience a couple of years
What
ago.
was the estimate in services they offered? What was that, like $1 million or something? It was a lot.
I think it was more than that.
Holly.
Vision.
You remember what that was, Holly? Over $1
Animals.
million, yeah.
Yeah. Of
Like
veterinary, of eye care, of
They
dental
did.
care, medical care.
They did everything.
Yeah, it was great.
It was really
It was
utilized.
awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
And we think this time hearing,
And mental health services as well.
mental health.
Sweet.
Now, the one caveat I will say is we've been working with the military now for 3 months. With everything going on in the world, things will change. And we don't know how it will affect this mission. We've been told it won't, but
you never know what can happen.
But
Yeah.
they can't guarantee it.
Yeah.
So we're going to plan as if they're going to be here and get through any of the logistic issues that, not that we had any big issues last time. They all worked out, but this time it appears that things are a little more difficult due to where we are in today's world.
Right,
Gotcha.
all right.
Well, thank you guys for working on this again.
Thank you.
I
I'm
we
glad
had such
that-
great feedback.
I was
I'm
gonna
glad
say, I
they're
think it's a
coming.
great program.
It
So
was.
our team, our team with boots on the ground is Holly, Brescia, Mike McFadden, and Sam Lingerfeld when he was here, and who did I miss? Jeannie. Jeannie, I can't pronounce her last name.
Quadroki.
Yep, that's it.
Jeannie Q.
Jeannie Q.
So
Try this up a little bit.
anyway, that's the group that will handle the mission through planning and implementation.
And it's going to be at North Middle, right?
Yes, the bed down will be there. Most of the services will be there.
Good
Awesome.
deal. Looking forward
Awesome.
to it. And
Yeah.
and if,
It was a
we'll
big
get,
success.
we'll have to make sure that our alternate public information director gets the word out.
Well, they've already been appointed, so.
There we go.
All right.
All right.
There we go. Thank you, sir.
Thank y'all.
All right, this next one we'll kind of tag team. To start off, I'll invite Ms. Jenna Basham up to the podium to kind of give an overview of the master plan that we're kind of proposing for Anthony Brooks Park, and then myself, and I'll ask Ms. Pruitt as well to talk a little bit about the funding side.
Okay, so we have the concept plan pulled up, but before I really dig into that with y'all, I was just going to kind of give you an overview on where our money's coming from and stuff like that. So as you know, we received the Land and Water Conservation Fund grant, and in that application, the scope of work was to remove the existing play structure, swing set, and the wood chip play surfaces, with the new installation of the play structure, 2 swings, a rubberized play surface, a flow-through splash pad system, precast Restream, sidewalks, and landscaping improvements. So it's important to note here that that is our scope of work according to the funding source, so we can't deviate away from that. We have to include those things. So as I mentioned, we have the Land and Water Grant, which was $245,000, the grant, which was $244,000.
Can I stop you just for 1 second? So when you say we have to include those things, you mean at a minimum?
Yes, correct,
We have
at
to
a
include
minimum.
those things, but we could do more if we wanted to.
Correct.
Right, okay.
That is just at minimum, we have to include those things. And then CDBG has thrown in some money, which makes the total funding available for this project $622,000. So Morley provided this concept plan for us. So what this does include some of the things outside of that original scope of work that I just went over. But the plan is for us to plan for future things that we know we might want to see in that park. So it's kind of hard to read, but I'm going to just kind of walk you through each item that's up there. The green middle, that is the proposed playground location with the swings. The upper green is allotted space for a 35-foot 2-bay zip line. The green, or the blue, is the splash pad. Oh, thank you. Okay, the blue there is the splash pad proposed location.
That's there.
There we go. This right here is the proposed location for the restroom. The existing structure is right there as the gray dot, or the gray box, and it is the existing structure shelter, and we are going to leave that in place currently, but we put a placeholder right next to it for a future larger shelter when funding's available. Right here in the teal is future sunshades, make sure we have space for some shade. The peach color walk, right all the way through here, those are just the proposed sidewalk locations. We have some proposed landscaping, which is these hashed areas that you can kind of see around the sidewalk. Let's see, and then we have proposed improvements to some parking along the road, and then a proposed crosswalk over to JFK. There's also this orange line right there is the location for a block wall similar to what is at Easton Park, which could be used for dedication plaques or memory plaques. And then the last thing I will note is the trees. Those are existing trees, and we are not going to be removing any of those trees. So that's the rundown of what Morley has proposed to us so far. So we're just looking for agreement or any comments on the plan as it stands.
Can I bring up some things that we discussed this morning?
Yeah, if you want, I was gonna cover it real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Ms. Pruitt, if you wouldn't mind coming up to the podium as well, please. So one of the things that I'll say, because this was a project I kind of worked on back in 22, 23, whenever it was first getting started. As you all know, inflation and different things hasn't been kind to us the last 3 or 4 years. And there's also been, when we applied for the grant, a lot of times, we didn't know we were going to have CDBG money. We didn't know we were going to have the grant. We didn't know we were going to have these different pots of money. And so a lot of times when you apply for a land and water grant, you try to fit to a $500,000 budget, because whether your budget is $500,000 or $2 million, the most you can get from the land and water grant is $250,000. And so some of the things that we've quoted now 3-4 years later, the exact same playground equipment, the amount of inflation we've seen on it is just amazing. So one of the things that we've kind of been talking about the last few days is, this master plan. If you all are in agreement with this master plan, you like what you see here, the question is, okay, this includes several more things that weren't included with that original application, things that we believe are value added and things we would like to see eventually. And then there's also been some price increases in some of the components themselves, the same exact components when we put the original budget together. So we as a staff have kind of been talking about, as Ms. Basham kind of went over in the beginning, the primary funding sources for this project were roughly, I'm going to use whole numbers, roughly $250 from the land and water. We got roughly $250 from the grant, which matches federal grant money. And then Ms. Pruitt has chipped in about $130, I believe, for CDBG money. So when we look at everything that's on there, several of the items that weren't on the original proposal, and we look at the way things have increased in cost, we're looking at a project that's closer to about $1 million. And so we as staff, what we have done over the last couple of days is try to figure out a way where if you all wanted to do this in phases, that'd be one option. But the second option is we believe we've come up with a solution to potentially fund all of that sooner rather than later, if that's something you all would like to do. So Ms. Pruitt, I wanted to ask you, one of the things that I believe you and Mr. Newman talked about earlier today is we've got some money dedicated to this from CDBG from the current cycle, but in order to help us bridge the gap, would it be possible to potentially allocate some more CDBG funding in this next cycle to this project if we wanted to move the timeline up on some of these other aspects of the project?
Yes, so CDBG gets their next cycle in October. So that would be for the, whatever you need, zip line, pour and play, so we can be obligated for that.
Okay, so theoretically, you think we could get another 130-ish if we matched what was in there
Yes.
from the previous? Okay, so using those numbers, so if you take roughly the 630 we had plus another 130, that's 760. And then we actually have, as a placeholder in this year's budget, $250,000 for the Parks Master Plan. That was just kind of put in as a placeholder. So that would actually put us right on the mark to fund all this stuff. And there's about 2 or 3 things that are shown on this master plan that weren't in that original budget. So they're value added things. So ultimately, I think that's the discussion we want you all to have is, 1, do you agree with the master plan? And 2, how do you all want to tackle this from a funding perspective?
And I'll add a little context to it also. If you remember, and Dylan kind of said this earlier, when we applied for the land and water grant, we committed $250,000 to this project.
Right.
Because it's a matching thing. And then we ended up getting another $250,000, thank goodness. But we had already had that $250,000 committed to this project. So
700 something.
well, when you look at the 250 and the 250 from the 2 grants and 260 from CDBG grant money, that's $760,000, and then the original 250 that we dedicated to it anyway, that's already in the budget, would get us up to 1.01 million, and that gets us really close to doing the whole park. And so we come in doing it this way. We come in at budget, and we come in 75% of it's grant funded, and so we've ended up meeting all the benchmarks we wanted to meet along the way, and we can slide in the zip line. For example, the bathroom, the splash pad, the playground equipment, the rubberized materials, and hopefully the wall also. And then if we have any money left over in the budget, we can trim out the outside with new sidewalks and stuff like that too. I like the plan that you guys have come up with, but just want to make sure that the commission's in favor of moving that direction before we turn them loose. You guys like that?
We got a timeline on, when you say what we're gonna do, how long is it gonna take when we start? Or we got a starting date or what?
So I'll kind of start, and then if you have anything to add. So we're in a little bit of a unique situation. So you're not technically allowed to have 2 land and water grants open at the same time, and we actually have a situation where we applied for a land and water grant back in 2021 for the sports complex, and we just recently got released to use that. And so actually, and Ms. Basham, if I say anything, you can, but I believe, so we haven't actually got permission to start from National Park Service or whoever we're waiting on for this land and water grant yet. We have gotten permission from the for the playground at the sports complex. What I'm hoping that we can have the playground project at the sports complex done within the next 2 to 3 months. Hopefully in that same time we get, and that's one of the things we may talk a little bit while we're in Washington about, is where do we stand on authorization for Anthony Brooks. But I am hopeful that is forthcoming in the next few months. It might be a thing where they're waiting for us to finish this other one before we get, but I think the sports complex project, I think, is set up to wrap up before the end of this fiscal year, correct?
Correct, yes.
So our hope, our goal, and our hope is to have the sports complex playground complete by the end of this fiscal year, and then we will do whatever we can pending getting approval from the feds to start this project, hopefully this fall.
Late summer, early fall kind of time frame.
And then once we do that, a lot of it will depend on when we get that permission. Some of the work can continue over the winter, but theoretically, restroom splash pad. This could theoretically, Mr. Newman, correct me if I'm wrong, but in theory, if we got the nod late summer, early fall, this could theoretically be ready by next summer.
I would agree.
Kind of depends on how the dominoes fall, but
There we go. I like it. Projects like this, people often get, and me included, I often get frustrated how slow things happen in government. Until you're in it, you don't really realize all the stuff you got to go through. And we started work on this 3 or 4 years ago, and to end up having $1 million park that is going to cost us $250,000, I think we've hit the mark, and I think it's going to be very, very impactful for that neighborhood. So.
And you said 3 or 4 years ago, but all the councils I've been on, I've been trying to get funding to update that for years.
Yep.
And finally we got it. What I don't want to do is piecemeal it. If we got to wait till this grant's finished, so that, let's say for instance, I don't want to go in and put half of it in, and then next year we put half of it.
Yeah.
When we do the grand opening, I want it to be all there in one piece. So if we have to wait going into the next funding cycle, then let's do that. But I don't want to piecemeal it. Hey, we got something else coming. Let's just bring it all at once and do it all at once.
We have an incentive to try to get on this quickly anyway, because we've got 10 years worth of parks projects to figure out how to fund, and a lot of that money is going to come from grants and other things that are going to take some time. And so we want to, when we get grants, we want to spend them as quickly as we can so we can open ourselves up to future grants too.
And one thing to your point, this on a funding side, it's been a moving target with each, not talking about the project as a whole, but even just each individual aspect. The fluctuation in prices has been pretty up and down, and so, well, mainly up. But the point is when I actually said this to Mr. Newman today, is whenever we go to actually build this, I want to do the bids for the playground, the restroom, the splash pad, the zip line, all the key things at the same time, so that we open them at the same time and we look at the prices and we know, okay, we're all good. Let's pull the trigger all at one time so that we can kind of have them all done at the same time, or roughly.
Yep.
Okay.
Good deal. Any other questions or anything? Thank you, guys. It's an exciting project for us, and I can't wait to see it in real life. So.
All right, next up, I'm going to invite Miss Holly Blandford up to the podium to give an update on HART. This may be the last time we see her for a little bit.
Yeah, it'll be the last time I can say, hey, Holly, how y'all doing?
Yeah, I know, right? Okay, so recently, Crystal, our mass transit superintendent, and myself have been working on a branding refresh for our mass transit department. And so you'll see on the screen, and then I have a picture in front of you as well, the kind of the branding refresh brought to life in new wraps for our mass transit buses. And so you'll see with that branding refresh, it closely reflects the brand that you already see throughout the community. So the bright, vibrant colors, the feather, the repeating patterns. With that, there's also been a refresh of the logo that you'll see there on the back portion of the bus. And so with this, they currently have 2 buses and 1 van that they're blank. So we would start by wrapping those, and then as the current buses kind of age out, this is what that maroon and white branding will be replaced with. So I guess today we're kind of looking for a general consensus from you guys, if you are good to move forward with this, and if you are, we'll work on getting them
How long has the other
wrapped.
branding been in play?
Oh gosh,
I
probably
know that
predates
because
me.
I had to look it up.
Oh,
I had to look it up for what we had,
Trying to review
Yeah.
everything.
Oh, okay.
there was a contest in 1970 something,
Oh,
and
so it does
Hart
predate me. I was
Poet-
born in 1996.
Yeah,
So.
I think it was
Predates a lot of us, yeah.
1976.
I graduated in
Someone's-
1996.
So I think it was in 1976, Hart, and it's Henderson Area Rapid Transit.
Yeah.
And so that's where the Hart came from. But it came as a contest. The
Well,
city
there
ran
we
the
go.
contest to name the bus service.
There we go.
So very much keeping the name, just refreshing the colors and.
I
adding the
think it
feather
looks
and-
really nice. I think it looks really nice.
Good job. All right. So good.
Good.
Yeah.
All right, thank you,
Yeah,
guys.
good job.
Thank you.
All right, and then last up, I just have a simple item. So, and Ms. Mills, I may have you come up here as well, just in case we need to talk about. But so, as y'all know, we're in the middle of the budget season, and so typically our budget work session would be the 3rd Tuesday in May. I'm pulling up my calendar, which would be the 17th or the 19th. But the mayor will be out of town that week, and then I will be unavailable the following week. And so in talking with Ms. Mills, it's, internally, it's probably best that he and I are both able to attend that meeting. So I wanted to talk to you all. We're supposed to have a regularly scheduled meeting on the 12th. What the mayor and I had talked about was doing the work session on the tail end of that. And Ms. Mills, I think that would work with your schedule as well, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So my questions for you all are twofold. Is one, would the 12th work for that budget work session? And then if it does, what times do we want to hold those meetings? Our normally regular scheduled meeting was normally be at 3. The budget work session, Chelsea, I don't know, it could be.
It's ranged from an hour my first year to I think almost 3 hours last year.
Yeah, we will
so
probably
it
have
can
dinner available that night, I'm sure. So I guess just need a little bit of feedback from you all as far as if that would work for your all schedules, and
You said May 12th?
that would be May 12th, yes, sir.
He's also
good with the
wanting,
12th.
he's also
Good.
wanting to know, do we want to start at 3, or in light of having an extra 3 hours potentially tacked onto it, do we want to start any earlier? What's the preference of the board?
We'll go early, we can go early. I'm good for early.
I'm
If you wanna
indifferent
go
for
early.
the time, but yeah, the day works for me.
Okay. What if we do 1 o'clock? Would that be good for everybody?
Yeah.
I would anticipate that we would get out by about 5 or 6 if we start at 1 o'clock.
So 1 o'clock for the regular meeting and then budget work session
Let me
immediately
check-
following.
Let me check my calendar and make sure. It says May 12th.
May 12th. And then while you're looking that up, the one other question I'll have is, so usually for that meeting, we hand out a draft of the budget that will certainly change afterwards. I think last year we did mostly digital, but the question is, if you all would like a paper copy for that session, we'll definitely get you a paper copy of the final version, but that one will be a draft and it will change. So if you want a paper copy for that May 12th meeting, just let me or Chelsea know. Otherwise, we will probably deliver it via email on probably a week before
Yeah,
that,
we
maybe?
tend to do it a week before the budget session. So if you guys do the electronic version, it does expedite that, so you guys might get it sooner. But if you guys do want a paper copy, we can give you that draft copy as well.
And as long as they are, I am good at 1 o'clock also.
Okay, so if everybody's good, we'll plan on the regularly scheduled meeting at 1 on May 12th, and then we will do the budget work session immediately following. Okay,
Sounds good.
thank you, Chelsea. And that's all I have for this afternoon.
All right, we do have city attorney on the docket today. Rocket docket.
Me, Mr. Davis as well. So, We wanted to come and talk to you and do an ordinance review with you all on a proposed ordinance that we want to discuss today, and if you all are good with it, send it to Planning Commission for a public hearing. I will tell you, the county did the same thing this morning. Our ordinances are similar, they're not the same, and they're all due to a change in the law. So we're going to talk about manufactured homes today. So currently we allow manufactured homes, they're permitted under our zoning ordinances in RMH, that's a manufactured home park in essence, in residential subdividing manufactured home district, and that's really Carter Avenue, that's the old Green Acres. We changed our ordinance to help them a couple of years ago. And then R3, medium to high density, is the permitted use. It's a conditional use in R4. It's a conditional use in Audubon residential. It's a conditional use in Audubon commercial. And so what that means is you can place a Class A manufactured home in those districts, but you have to have a BOZA, Board of Zoning Adjustment, to get permission to do so. And then we also allow one manufactured home per agricultural lot. I will tell you, we have very few ag districts left in Henderson, and they're getting smaller all the time. So just so that you can kind of see in your mind's eye, the gray and the green, that's where we currently have manufactured homes, either as a conditional use or a permitted use. So, some pictures of our current manufactured homes in the city. So, last year in the legislative session, the legislature changed KRS 100.348. And they did it to try to provide another avenue for single-family housing, affordable housing. As you all know, there's a housing shortage, not just in Kentucky, but across the country. And so in an effort to try to ease that and to get more single-family houses available, they changed this. And it redefined qualified manufactured homes, and it includes modular homes.
So a modular home is a home that's built inside a factory. It's very traditional in its framing. It would meet our code. It would be shipped to a site, put on a permanent foundation, just like a regular house, but it's built in a factory. The walls are true and square. It's hard to mess them up because they're built in a factory. A manufactured home is actually built on a chassis. It's designed to be moved to and from locations. It's lightweight. You see them traveling down the highway all the time. It's anchored down, but it is actually built to HUD standards, and those were, I guess, in about '74. Whenever we had issues with trailers versus manufactured homes, we wanted a proper standard in the United States. So HUD started inspecting these homes. You'll see a little red tag on a manufactured home that says it's a HUD, it meets the HUD standards, it has a number, a serial number, and this actually has a VIN number. It's considered a vehicle because it has wheels. Typically, when you install a manufactured home, the wheels are removed, it is put on block, and it is anchored down with straps or a proprietary system like an Oliver system. But that is typically what we see as far as manufactured home as opposed to modular home. If you look at a modular home and a regular stick-built home, you would probably not be able to tell them apart. Anyway.
So now what the state has done is they've changed the definition of qualified manufactured homes. And they've said modular homes and manufactured homes are all manufactured homes. So they've redefined that definition. So when we talk about those are the same thing in the essence of the law. So this law says that all qualified manufactured homes must be allowed where single-family homes are permitted use. So wherever we allow single-family residences, we now will also allow qualified manufactured homes. And this applies to all cities and counties. This is across the state, not just with us. And we must make those regulations effective by July 1st. The law comes into effect July 1st. So currently, our zones that allow single-family dwellings, either permitted or conditional uses, are these zones. So there's 14 additional zones. The zones in yellow are where we currently have them as a condition or a permitted use. This our manufactured home. Now these are the zones where we will now be allowed to, or be required to allow qualified manufactured homes. So as you can see, this is going to change some things for us. And just to give you kind of, you saw the other one, anything in light blue is really where manufactured homes will be allowed from this point on. So, a qualified manufactured home has to be less than 5 years at the time, and this is according to the statute. 5 years, all parts that only operate during transport must be removed. So it's got to be taken off the chassis. It has to be, yeah, the wheels. It has to be affixed to a permanent foundation. It has to be at least 20 feet wide at smallest width. It has to be oriented so the front door faces the street, and it has to be 900 feet or larger. That's state law, not ours. So we'll need to update our ordinances in order to be in compliance. So the first, and I have put the ordinances in front of you. So the first thing we have to do is look at our definitions. We've got to revise our definitions. So we call single family a dwelling unit. So what we will need to do on our dwelling unit, single family, is to add qualified manufactured housing as defined by the statute. That's pretty clear. Then we currently, when we talk about manufactured homes, and I showed you some pictures earlier, we have them in there as a Class A definition. It's a very long definition. We will remove that definition, and we literally, this is the statutory definition. So we'll just replace it with the statutory definition. So the law does allow us to adopt architectural compatibility standards within 1/8 mile or less radius from the proposed location of a new single family. But we can only consider those architectural standards, roof, and this is according to the statute, roof pitch, square footage of livable space, type and quality of exterior finishing material, foundation skirting, existence of a type of attached structure. So that means a deck, a garage, a front porch, and setback restrictions and lot dimensions. We already have setback restrictions and lot dimensions, so we don't have to worry about that. We apply those equally, so that's not an issue for us. I should say that when we enact an architectural compatible standard, they cannot be more stringent than standards applied to other single-family residential structures in the same zone. So that means when we adopt these, we adopt them for all single-family dwellings within 1/8 radius. But because of the density of Henderson, that really means all homes, unless you might get some big executive lot. But 1/8 is 10 acres. So you're gonna touch another, the way that Henderson's set up, you're gonna touch. So where the county has, they may not have to have quite so much just because the density, our density is a little closer.
Don, can I ask a question?
Sure.
And you may get to it after I ask. What about neighborhood covenants?
It's at the end. We're gonna get there.
All right, thank you.
So when we were working on this, our challenge is to make changes that continue to protect existing and future neighborhood character, but comply with the requirements of KRS 100.348. So believe it or not, this is harder than you might think. And we were very fortunate that we had worked with Randy Tassa and Kyle Evans with the county. So we worked together on this. So we looked at the permitted compatibility standards, and the ones that we felt that worked best for the city were roof pitch, orientation to the street, foundation treatment, and attached structures, and that means front porches. So we'll go through each one of those. First of all, roof pitch. We currently, in our Class A manufactured home, require a roof pitch of 412. So this actually is not going to change for manufactured homes. We're not requiring anything more than we currently require for them. So that's the roof pitch on primary roof structures, not maybe a low porch on the side or something. Unless the new single-family dwelling has an upper story or a half story with conditioned space. So for all single-family or all single-story structures, we're going to require a roof pitch of 412. Henderson is unique. And one of the things that we really struggle with, and Buzzy was with us on it, we have a lot of Italianate homes. Italianate homes do not have a roof structure or a roof pitch of 412. But all of our Italianate homes are two-story homes. So under this, it won't prevent Italianate homes from being constructed, and it will protect the neighborhood view. We're really trying to keep the characters of neighborhoods within this. Building orientation, the front door will have to face the street. Corner lot will be oriented to whatever the prevailing block pattern is. And that will reinforce just the traditional neighborhood form, how the neighborhood looks. Foundation treatment will require permanent foundation to utilize treatments that are contextually equivalent to those within the 1/8 radius that the statute allow, be that be block, brick, concrete, natural stone. And we do have an exception in there. If you're in a floodplain, you may have to put in vents, and so your permanent foundation may not be able to meet these because the floodplain will preempt this. So there are vents, and you can correct me. So if you're in floodplain area, they want vents in your foundation treatments. So, and we can utilize that exemption in there. So, KRS 100-348 allows attached structure for architectural compatibility. And so this was our hardest part. So, this is a manufactured home without a covered porch. This is a manufactured home with a covered porch. There's a big difference for neighborhood compatibility. So, we are going to require for all new single-story or half-story single-family dwelling a covered front porch that is at least 24 square foot. So that is not a very large porch. But it is exempted for those zones where we currently allow manufactured homes. We don't require it. We won't require it there as well. So as you can see, the exemption out are R3, R4 ag, and Audubon residential. Part of that will require a permanent porch foundation, so it can't just be up there. It's got to be into the foundation, and it has to integrate the roof line. I'm going to go backwards. You want to explain what an integrated roof line means?
So it actually means that the roof looks like one piece. Like the front porch ties into the existing roof on the manufactured house. It's not a separate roof. It's not an independent structure. It's actually tied into what is on the manufactured home.
So these would be...
So it would have valleys or a shed, but it would be tied in somewhere on that roof.
So, and the porch columns will be, dimensional wood, masonry, decorative concrete. We just want to make sure that we don't have people putting pipes up or temporary supports and saying, there it is, so we included that. But understand, that's going to be not just for a manufactured home, it's going to be for all single-family dwellings. So, and like I said, it just improves the assimilation into an existing neighborhood. As you can see, there's a big difference when you put that porch on there. So, the zones that we are excluding from this are Article 15 is a PUD, a Planned Unit Development. So like Bentley Point is a planned unit development. Do you want to explain how those work and
So,
why?
in a planned unit development, you really get to choose what you want to do in the planned unit development. Your setbacks are custom, the building materials are custom. You designate that, and then you bring what you would like to do, the neighborhood or the little, has to be 5 square acres. You bring that, it will include common spaces, walkways, et cetera, everything, even down to retention bases. But you get to choose what you're putting in that place. So that's why planned unit development is kind of unique. Obviously, like a tiny home neighborhood could be in a planned unit development. It could be a great concept, but manufactured home could also be the same thing.
Yeah, so we're excluding those from any of those, and recognize that a planned unit development has to go through the planning commission. So it has its own, regulatory thing. So there's really no reason for us to put additional requirements on there when they're going to go through the process anyway. Manufactured home districts, no reason to do that. Those districts were designed to be the best use for that. And then also Green Acres, the residential subdivided. So we'll exempt all those zones out of this. So, Mayor, did you ask me a question?
I did. What about restrictive covenants?
Okay, so restrictive covenants are still valid. The law makes it very clear that these do not preempt restrictive covenant. However, that we as a city do not enforce restrictive covenant. So let's say if ABC subdivision has a restrictive covenant that says no Class A HUD manufacturers. And I bought a lot and I want to put a qualified manufactured home, and it meets all of our requirements in our ordinance. And I say, Steve, I want a building permit. What are you going to do?
All demands that I give you one.
Yeah, so he'll give a building permit just because that's his responsibility. And the residents and the homeowners associations will deal with the restrictive covenants. It's not something that we are able to deal with.
They'll fight it out in court.
Yeah, so just a few more housekeeping. Because we talked about conditional uses, we need to make some changes in the existing ordinance just to bring it up to the requirements of KRS 100.3.4. So we got to pull out conditional uses. We've got to update RMH and our SMH to make sure that they're exempted out of it, make sure that's in there, and update agricultural 2504. We also allow Class B manufacturing homes, and so make sure that that's clear that they have qualified manufacturing homes as well as a Class B. And so, questions?
Let me also say that what we're doing with the manufactured homes, it is primarily the same. All we're requiring is a porch. We've in the past required 412 pitch. We've required a foundation that is block. These are all standards that we as a city have adopted prior. But now to make them more, I guess, look like a home that would fit in a neighborhood, we're saying the front porch really is key. But that does say that any new house also has to have one.
Unless it's outside, unless
Yeah.
there's no other structure within 1/8 mile radius, which is, you're gonna have a hard time in Henderson not having that. So, the way that zoning works, as you all know, is we bring you, well, they can actually originate it as well, but they generally allow us to originate. So we originate an ordinance here. If you all feel comfortable with it, then you all would make a motion to pass it to send it to Planning Commission. Planning Commission would hold a hearing in April. They may come up with some amendments they think we should consider, and then they'll send it back. This morning, the fiscal court passed theirs to send it to Planning Commission for their April meeting. And so we're asking that you all make a motion. This is not, you passing it today, you're not adopting the ordinance. You're just sending it on through the process for Planning Commission to take a look at it and do a public hearing on it. So.
Steve, let me get clear on this. So every new home from now on has to have at least a 12 by 12 front porch on it. You know what I'm saying?
Single,
No,
single
24
story.
square feet. It's It's not
Okay.
necessarily 12 by 12, it's
Okay.
smaller than that. But yes, if it is.
Stoop, like a stoop.
Yeah, stoop, with covered stoop. Unless, nothing within a, 660 linear feet, or let's say, it's, what do you say, an acre? The radius?
No, it's-
Yeah, it's
it's more than
in the
that.
city,
10
basically,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to have a
1/8
stoop.
of a mile.
Okay.
If there's nothing out there within 1/8 of a mile, they're good.
10 acres.
10 acres?
Mhm, it's 10
Okay.
acres. So, as you can tell in Henderson, it's just gonna touch things under
So,
this.
yeah.
But not
that's
for,
where it's
but not for Ottoman residential, not for Ottoman commercial, not for R3, not for R4, and only for single-family dwellings. It doesn't apply to duplexes. If you, trust me, I've driven around and looked at
Yeah.
many, many, many houses. Duplexes often don't, in Henderson, don't have porches, but most new construction have porches. So this is not really going to change a lot.
So, that being said, it's important to remember that we're trying to protect the established neighborhoods. Like if a house burns down on Main Street, someone can technically put a manufactured house right here on that lot, and it would not look as appealing as, say, some of the other houses, or, that's kind of where we're going with the front porch.
But now the laws change, it does allow for that to be there now, so.
Because they have to meet all of the setbacks, just like any other house would have to meet setbacks. They would have to, there's a lot, and honestly, in downtown Henderson, it's very difficult to put a new house in there because it takes variances and everything else to make it fit, so. All right, well, if not, I'd ask for a motion, Mayor, so that we can get this to planning commissions for their April public hearing.
Absolutely. I think we all understand this is not something that we can really not do. It's state law, and we've got to update our laws to be in accordance with state law. So with that, I'll entertain a motion to send this to the Planning Commission for further review.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hargis.
Aye.
Commissioner Pruitt.
All right.
Commissioner Witt.
Aye.
Mayor Staten.
Aye. Dawn, is that all on the city attorney's report?
Yes, sir.
All right. And do we
Thanks,
have it? Do what?
No, I was telling, thanks for all that.
Well,
Changing all that. It's a lot going on.
Yeah, it is. Let's do commissioner comments. Commissioner Hargis, do you have anything?
Not tonight.
Commissioner Pruitt?
No.
Commissioner Witt?
None today.
All right, and I do not either. And with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor, aye?